My guest today is Serhii Kravchenko. Serhii is the CEO at DeXe. Now, DeXe is a very intriguing solution for creating and governing DAOs, projects, tokens, NFTs, whatever you need really through a seamless no-code interface. We'll learn all about this today. But first, welcome to the show, Serhii.
Thank you, Andy, so much. Thank you for having me here. I'm really excited.
Awesome. I'm excited too. Let's do what we do at the beginning of the show. Serhii, it'd be great if you could please introduce yourself. Love to hear a little of your personal and professional background. What have you been doing in the lead up to becoming CEO at DeXe?
Lovely, thank you. So basically, back in the day, I was just studying physics in Ukraine and National Polytechnic University. It's, I guess, just the top tech university there. And once I just dropped out of there, once I finished my study, I just found out that it's like a big lack of basically application for physicists, in Ukraine. Unless you're doing like any sort of private thing there. So I basically started my entrepreneurship together with a few partners. We've built a travel agency back in the days. I mean, it was like 2016 or something around that. Being a tech guy, I've completely built all the digital layer in terms of like automations, in terms of digital marketing, in terms of like just basically scalable and automated infra for doing this job. So it was a complete paradigm shift, I guess, back in the days in this industry. So we did a very good job. And at that times, to be honest, like I was like, I guess from very, very deep youth, I was really, wondering how can we lose this, central entity among like anything what's going on with interactions of humans all around the globe. I mean, anything like from funds to ownership to any sort of privacy. Obviously, we're living like an information era, so it was like a complete like question for me from the very, very, very deep youth. And once like the Bitcoin and like the first smart contracts appeared, I was following this. I was even mining. I guess when I was studying in university, I was mining Bitcoin on my laptop and so on. But when we like started offline sort of business and made it digital, we were performing very good. In 2017, it was like not a purpose, I mean, to change something around there. But when like the new layer of technologies appeared, thanks to Ethereum, thanks to basically a new level of machine, a new layer of I guess like SDKs that appeared there that really started to adopt the first like portions of people, if I can say that. We were just like, I guess, diversifying some sort of our like capital in our company in cryptocurrencies, participated in few ICOs. Because right now, I mean, if you're taking a look on like any product which is approved on the market, you see like millions of people, you see like 10, 15 millions in some applications in Telegram. Right now, back in the day, it was like hundreds and probably thousands of people in the groups. It was like complete maximum. So it wasn't really much, competition there. So we just were like slowly started to integrate into this sort of society. It was a complete interest. It was a good way to diversify some assets. It was a good way to just to run this wave, but mostly in terms of investments, mostly in terms of some diversification. But few years like later, when 2020 coronavirus and anything happened, I mean, our just business completely jammed out. It was like a big, like bifurcation point for us to choose like what to do next, and having like a good digital layer of, I mean, development, social media, like marketing, anything. Having all this well set up and automated in our company, we started to work as an outsource for a lot of projects which started to appear, I guess, in 2020. Straight after this like big flip of the market, I guess on May 17, something like that, when Bitcoin like crashed to 3.5. I mean, straight after that, like market very, very quickly recovered. Like thanks to the DeFi summer, thanks to NFTs, anything what's going on there. It was like a lot of projects which started to appear on the market. Ukraine where it was like always very good adopted by crypto. So we had a lot of, people who we used to know even from the previous cycle, from all those groups where, as I said, like it was hundreds of people. It wasn't like a vast community as it is right now. So we started just to work as an outsourcing like our marketing expertise, outsourcing our digital layer, and slowly but surely, I gained a very vast network. In that year, I started to travel to attain all the conferences all around the Europe, Dubai, everything. Slowly but surely, I just started to intersect with the business, not like with just fund management, but with business who is like building, who is acquiring, who is retaining, and everything else. And at that times, I guess like DeXe basically was started exactly at that time. So from the very beginning, DeXe was sort of like DeFi product, very decentralized from the by design. So I was just one of the early adopters of DeXe from the times of like the first like TGs, from the times of like listings on Binance and everything else. DeXe was performing very good. It was like a DeFi tooling from the very beginning. It was a copy trading platform for DEXs, for DeFi. So it just allowed people to automate their trading, automate their earnings. And it was like growing very fast. So I was very active in those communities. And together with some other core contributor, we just was like having this sort of expertise, having this sort of network, and having just this, I guess, visual experience by working with various products like worldwide. I mean, we were outsourcing at the times like to Japanese, to American companies, to like just worldwide. So we just had like a good visual expertise to be very active in terms of like growing DeXe from its like holders and its community layer. And by like design, as I told you, DeXe was a decentralized product. So at that time, DeXe started to build a DAO. And this is where basically my, I guess, like first roles in DeXe really came up. I was just one of, I guess was just from very, very inception of DeXe started. So yeah, I was just contributing together with just other guys, together with other like early contributors, just to say it like that, because I mean, it's obviously not like a sort of team which is completely behind it. It's a decentralized community. So we just built it.
That is some great background. So how would you characterize DeXe today then? So there's a few different components in the wonderful world of DeFi, but it really is designed for DAOs, right?
Exactly. It's a very basically fun story, because back in the day, I mean, as I told you, DeXe was a completely different technology. It was a copy trading tool. It came up like from even from Forex, from stocks, but back in the day when we started to build a DAO from a community layer, we just found out that there are like not really much tooling that can suit like our perspective, because we even like just ordered a sort of research. We just paid for research to some guys like to find out a best like combat tooling from both like legal framework, from tech perspective, just to build a really decentralized DAO, which will have like a 51% core, which will have like a lot of just transparent, decentralized, autonomous, anything what it's like supposed to mean. But we found out that most of companies who are building DAOs, I mean, they're using like from 3 to 5 tooling at the same time. They have separate tooling to build, to have discussions, separate tooling to build some incentives for the community, separate tooling to manage on-chain, separate tooling to manage off-chain, complete separate tooling to manage treasury and funds. So it's like just a big bunch of various applications that you will never unite in some seamless, unique, seamless, united user flow, first of all, and finally machine that will work towards like some goal and some mission. So we just found out this opportunity on the market, and we decided, why don't we just switch? Why don't we make like this sort of smooth pivot, being a DeFi, being a decentralized product? I mean, it shades out our vision, our values. So back in the day, like we just started to build this DAO tooling, and we, I guess, spent like around like 1 year, 1.5 years, something like that, just building up all the smart contracts. And of course, understanding that smart contracts are not just anything what will work solely. We together with other contributors, like separately, we just built an own application that will serve as a like united interface, seamless interface for anything that you will need. So just no code interface to create DAOs, to utilize all the like leverage all the smart contracts, interact with anything what's going on outside, like on chain, and obviously having a known off-chain layer, simplified to facilitate like just the user experience and to have all the data and anything else what's obviously needed to handle all that. So we just found out this opportunity by experiencing a really low offering from the market, how to solve, how to target issues. I mean, because if you just want to simulate a DAO, obviously you have something. If you want to like make some I don't know, like some off-chain copy of a DAO, you have some tooling for that. But if you want to run a complete decentralized on-chain experience based on transparency, based on consensus, based on like fair quorums, fair majority, I guess we were lacking tooling at that time, and right now we have DeXe.
Yeah, so and the idea, Serhii, behind a DAO is really to try and take human errors out of the equation, right? So at a kind of, at one level, that's what a DAO is supposed to do. It enables people who might be spread around different geographical areas to more efficiently organize in a kind of more flat, more potentially equitable way. And that could be for small groups or really big groups. I'm curious as to, how you think about the potential for DAOs at the moment to solve some of those, uniquely human problems that relate to being a human.
Exactly. DAOs, like, they are about automations. DAOs, they're just about like something which is trustless, something which is very trusted and automated. Of course, obviously, I understand that we will never probably achieve some sort of DAO governance in some specific layers. For instance, like if we have some sort of like military economy, we have something which requires like some accumulation of force or something. This is not like what DAOs are about. But if we want to manage some I don't know, some technologies or some anything which requires like a complete transparency, DAOs are here. If as you said, like if we want to collaborate like worldwide on equal layer, on equal level, it's also like about DAOs. If we want to have some programmable economy, we want to like utilize the smart contracts, but also need DAOs, because I mean smart contracts they just allows us to automate, and it will automate any program, any sequence of events. It's about DAOs, because I mean, if we can program some sequence of events, we obviously need to manage it in trusted, decentralized manner. Just a simple instance, we have right now like a big like breakthrough of AI technologies, and some people are like a bit afraid of like how far we can go with this, and what will happen, for instance, if some sort of companies, and for now we have very, very centralized VI, some sort of like centralized entities will probably try to exploit, having this technology on board, they will try to probably exploit in this or another way something around there, because they can manipulate, they can simulate, having like the database, which is the core of any AI. So here's the answer. We can have the DAO, which is managing AI. We can have various entities which are represented, all the parties with their real interests, they're represented in a simple organization, and each decision is just a consensus of various parties. I mean, because as like Rene Descartes like was saying back in the day, like a lot of problems are just happening because people just can't find, you know, like a middle ground and a clear point of each other. They're not like doing a good job for this. DAOs is about that. I mean, any vote is accounted, but it can be changed, like it can be influenced. It's just like a pure will, which is transparently facilitated by blockchain. So, I mean, we're just moving. General, we're moving in programmable economy. We're moving in the economy which will be based on like complete transparency, complete facilitated by blockchain. We'll like probably go for some automated and automated experience facilitated by AI. So these are just about the future of managing technologies to managing networks.
Got it. Thank you, Serhii. Also be useful to understand who are the types of people or organizations or companies. Are they, you know, mostly blockchain or crypto entities? Who are the people that are using the DeXe platform at the moment to create DAOs? Can you like walk us through a couple of different examples or case studies?
Yeah, sure. So right now, I mean, we're just adopting only the crypto market, to be honest. We have various use cases that we're exploring, but a complete use cases are mostly for sure some decentralized products here or there. Usually they're just facing like one or two issues, two or three probably. Mostly it's like sort of asset management. If any company is looking for some capitalization on crypto markets, obviously it needs some like straight legal and funds framework, because otherwise it's just not like very secure in terms of like law, in terms of anything. It's just I'm very honest. It's just probably one of the first and most popular use cases, just a legal framework right now. But like doing so, we are exploring more and more use cases. Everything was about managing smart contracts. For instance, I'm running like some sort of decentralized technology, and I have some smart contracts. A lot of funds, like billions of dollars, are interacting with my smart contracts. Like millions of people are interacting with my smart contracts. So how can I assure that my smart contracts are not exploited? How can I ensure that there is no ownership which will just stand behind those smart contracts and which will use some, I don't know, backdoor or some like hidden methods that will probably withdraw funds time to time. So obviously we have tech audits and we have a decentralized ownership, which is a DAO. So this is all about this. So right now we're just adopting crypto protocols or having some sort of smart contracts for that they need to manage in decentralized manner. We have a lot of like fund and asset management companies who also need to interact with DeFi, interact with decentralized protocols with smart contracts. So they need some sort of like account extraction layer that will just be very well interconnected with any like capabilities of DeFi. So mostly it's all about that. Also, right now we have a lot of use cases upcoming, specifically for real-world assets. I mean, it's also obviously DAO. If you want to tokenize anything, if you want to have some collective ownership around anything, it's a DAO. I mean, if you want to tokenize like some property and give access to various people all around the globe to own it, to probably have some dividends, to make some decisions on how like it should be managed, how it should be like maintained. It's all about a DAO. You need like fund management, you need like decision making. All about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Very much makes sense, Serhii. So I understand that it is possible through DeXe. You can essentially create your DAO on any chain, right? Or is that the case? Just explain what chains you are deployed on initially and how that process works and where you see that going in the future.
Exactly. DeXe is a EVM technology, so we are like based on Solidity. So basically, right now we're deployed on BNB chain. We have like I mean, all the major EVM chains, like starting from Ethereum, Polygon, and like ending by all the major L2s, we have them all on the testnet. We're just like waiting for some, to be honest, like we're waiting for some good like times on the market to probably create some deeper engagement on the launch. We're negotiating with all those chains. We're just initiated on BNB chain, being like a token which is like traded on Binance, being a community which is like which has like special relation with Binance from the very inception. We started from BNB chain, but mostly we are EVM, and we will scale it this year. We'll scale to all the major chains on EVM. It's very hard to scale DeXe, to be honest, like on all the Rust technologies like Near, like Solana, or even fancy technologies like Tom or something. But yeah, all EVM, it's all about us. And literally, it just simply works like that. I mean, each DAO in DeXe is a separate smart contract. So by having like a DAO in DeXe, you have just a sort of public key of your DAO, which is your treasury, and you have a private key ownership by consensus of your holders. So you can like set up some quorum, some voting parameters, and once it is achieved, I mean, the private key can sign any transaction from your smart contract. So by like having this, you can not only like elaborate on some fund management. You can also interact with any app. You can trigger any transaction, any sequence of transactions. So yeah, I mean, it's just a good way to manage anything what you have on EVM. We're also, for instance, like with some chains, we also have some chains, some upcoming like use cases where some blockchains will be managed by DeXe protocol, by a DAO created on DeXe.
And I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, Serhii, but just to be clear, it's a very simple process, isn't it, to spin up a DAO using DeXe? So you've designed it to be as simple as it could possibly be. It's really just a standard kind of Web2 style click-through process, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like 3-4 simple steps, like by just filling all the fields, name, links, everything, setting up governance parameters. Like, I mean, you're like able to choose like any token, any NFT. You can connect some soul-bound tokens if you want to limit some sort of society that you would like to probably like be able to have an access. You can use both NFTs and tokens. You can create if you don't have a token, you can mint your token straight while creating a DAO, setting up all the tokenomics and distribution. And like, yeah, all set up just like basic like information, governance method, of course, like voting parameters. It's probably like a bit more complicated from the beginners, like for the beginners to set up voting parameters from the scratch. But there are like a lot of documentation for there. From this perspective, I would also would like to say we have like our custom technology here. From voting perspective, it's like a non-linear voting, a very, very interesting thing which can really bring up a lot of new perspectives to like just collaboration of networks around the globe. Because I mean, usually like linear voting, which is just a complete standard for the market everywhere. I mean, elections in countries and DAOs and in crypto all the same. Like we have some linear voting, and this is like a problem where a lot of like parties can probably, it's like just a plutocratic risk where some parties can control like enough supply. The same like in elections in countries, one can buy votes. Yeah, I mean, it can just be a plutocratic problem where where like just some limited amount of parties can achieve decisions, and this is a complete problem of actual DAOs. We just offered like a non-linear voting where the more tokens you have, the less like impact each token has next. So it just diversifies. I mean, it organically grows like some holder metric for your like token economy. It diversifies like your power within the organization. Just allows us to be more community driven and achieve like, as we believe, like more fair results. But yeah, it's all easy. Once you just set it up, once you just, the only thing that you need to decide is like how your DAO should be managed in terms of voting. It's the complete like difficulty, and it's a complete like specific for each separate organization. I mean, depending on token economy, depending on like the purpose. Yeah, but all the rest is just like clicks and type-ins.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, look, Serhii, as we start to finish up this part of the podcast, it'd just be good if you could tell us, anything that's coming down the pipeline, what you're working on at the moment at DeXe, any products that are coming up or releases that people should know about. And of course, for people that are interested in learning more about what DeXe is doing, hey, maybe they want to spin up a DAO. Tell people also, of course, what they should do and where they should go.
Okay, sure. First of all, I guess like one of the major things that we would like to release this year, I guess like in the beginning of the Q4, it's like the automated governance. I mean, because we just basically having like a lot of struggles in building our own technology, in learning out this market. We just found out that there are like few main key challenges the DAOs like currently struggle, and one of the first is just the lack of activity, because it's a complete challenge for holders, for simple like members of organization, if they don't have any inner purpose, will of contribution. They usually struggle because first of all you need to read up all the proposals, you need to advocate your opinion, you need to spend a lot of time, and finally when you spend time, you also need to spend money, because you need to initiate a transaction, you need to sign up your vote. So it's always like a waste of money and waste of time if it doesn't pay, first of all doesn't pays off. So we found out that one like very important thing is first of all incentivization model. So we have like also one of the custom development, which is basically out already, automated incentivization model. So you can set up some incentive which comes up from the treasury and just incentivize like community to be more active, to participate in. But it's not always an argument as well. So the second thing is some sort of automation for people. I mean, if they can delegate their votes, if they can just like in elections in USA, if they can elect some parties that they trust, and like public entities, like for instance Vitalik Buterin. If like I trust Vitalik Buterin, I can delegate my vote to him, because most likely he won't make like a malicious decision. It's no purpose for him, and we built all that, like incentivization, delegation model, anything, but still like we found out that like something is missing, and we decided like to do a sort of like AI governance. It's like a very very fresh like idea, which I mean is just being discussed like I guess only right now, probably like just half of a year or something. It is just discussed in specific circles, like how AI can basically be utilized to automate some decision making. Very simple instance. I mean, just on daily basis, you need to take a lot of decisions, like what to wear, where to go, anything else. The same with business, the same with organizations. You need to decide like a lot of like daily stuff, which spends a lot of like time and effort, like of available time of some smart people to make just simple decisions. So we are building a sort of AI delegate, which will like on architectural layer. It's very simple. It will just consist of like various AI models, which are trained for any specific direction of the industry. For instance, we have like some model which is responsible for finance, for like anything which is about like market making, about finance, about anything else. It's just following the trends in Twitter, trends in like Google. It's following like all the databases, like with economy books, with anything else. We have like the same with like tech model, we have the same with marketing model, and so on. So this is like some collective society of AIs for each specific direction which is important, and we just unite them in a DAO. So we are just connecting them to on-chain, they can make some decisions. They can, first of all, they of course can negotiate in inner circle. And anything, what is going on, like anything, any decision which is like any proposal which is coming up, they are negotiating. They of course give special credit to model which is related to this direction of the proposal, and then they just communicate. It is visible. They communicate. They are even posted in the chat. They're providing additional activity for the community as well. It's all visible. And finally, they're just coming up with a decision. So both organization from the treasury and simple users can delegate their votes to AI. And this allows us to have some first prototype of programmable economy, where we have some consensus mechanics, where we have fund management, and where we have automated governance, automated decision making of how to do all that. So in the same time, those models, they can also follow all the trends. We can connect them to APIs of all the news portals around the globe, and they can just follow all the trends and make and propose decisions. They can give some good summaries, and they can just give some good ideas of what the organization can do, taking of course into attention all the mission and all the direction of this organization. This is basically the what we call AI governance agent. This is our current development that we are planning to drop off in the Q4. And of course, it's mostly all about scaling. It's about scalability. It's about providing some automations for governments, just to make experience, just to make people just do less and enjoy their lives. In the meantime, we're also working on some sort of chain abstraction, cross-chain scalability, and AI.
Yeah, wow, a lot going on then, Serhii. Fascinating indeed. Thank you so much for sharing that. And of course, folks, the link is in the show notes, but you can go to DeXe.io. And well, Serhii, it's time to finish off the podcast, and we do that by running you through the very famous Crypto Conversation hot take round. Are you up for it?
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it, Serhii. I'm just going to run some questions at you. I just want you to give me quick, snappy answers, kind of hot take style. But let's see what you have to say. Question 1 for you, Serhii, is where would you say that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-chain opportunist spectrum?
Second one, because Bitcoin is non-scalable, upgradable, and I guess one time it will be the deal breaker for you.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. What would you say then, Serhii, is your firmest conviction crypto opinion?
That blockchain will be just integrated in all the layer of interactions of humanity.
Yes, very good.
Trustless, permissionless mechanics. Sorry, please.
Yes, of course. Bill Gates famously said, Serhii, that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. So with that in mind, I guess, DeXe or DAOs, what does the DAO landscape look like in 10 years' time?
Managing all the technologies which are dangerous to manage solely, from the nuclear power to AI and so on.
Yeah, I love it. All right. William Gibson famously said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. With that in mind, can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people aren't aware of it?
Right now, I guess it's it's probably the programmable economy that, first of all, it's just a programmable economy that we have enough technologies to be fair enough automated, not only on factories.
Yeah. DeFi being a great example brings us nicely to the final question, Serhii, which is, what is your favorite science fiction book, film, or TV show?
Science fiction. I guess I was watching this three-body problem, it was just very good. I'm not into like science fiction. I'm very science guy. I mean, I like to read like Newton. I like to read like Einstein and all those kind of guys. I just read their works. But three-body problem was, I mean, very, very funny for me. I liked it.
Yeah, hey, that's a great selection. I very much enjoyed the three-body problem. Myself, it's on Netflix, of course, based on a very famous Chinese trilogy, of course. But yeah. All right. Well, we reached the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming and talking to us, Serhii. Close it out by just, telling people once more where they can go to learn all about DeXe. And if you have a Twitter X profile, please share that.
Yeah, sure. So please, I cordially invite anyone just follow like DeXe DAO, DeXe protocol in Twitter and Telegram, everywhere. Feel free to write down in the community. We're very active, we're very responsive there, and just follow anything what's going on. We have a lot of documentation, a lot of videos, a lot of trends. So please, welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Serhii. It was a pleasure.
It was a complete pleasure. Thank you.
Right, there you go. That was Serhii from DeXe. Fascinating character. Fascinating to, hear about what they are doing, helping anyone spin up a DAO as easily as possible. Three-body problem. Hey, great. Do you know what I watched this morning? I watched the new trailer for Severance has come out for Severance Season 2. Of course, that's on Apple. They said the release date is January. So Severance Season 2 coming out in January. I think that will be good. Severance Season 1, if you haven't seen it, man, that is one of the better sci-fi seasons of television in recent memory, I would suggest. So there you go. It's a hot tip. All right, we reached the end of another show, folks. Thanks to the team from DeXe. Thanks to you for watching or listening. Please make sure you are subscribed to the Crypto Conversation so you know when new episodes drop. That is it for today. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin. Bye for now. See ya.